Hi everyone, this is group number 4 and we are going to go ahead and discuss case 2-3, which is Ford Motor Company Supply Chain Strategy. My name is Parker Portillo and I will go ahead and allow the rest of the group to introduce themselves as we continue throughout this presentation. So again, Ford Motor Company, this case we will outline points A through H, which include the general issues and main stakeholders, which I will cover. Then it will lead into my partners going through theory and concepts, symptoms and problems, the alternatives and evaluation criteria, the best solution and implementation plan for the case, then evaluation and review of the project, and a current status update on Ford Motor Company. So just to go over the general issues again, Ford Motor Company used to be part of what was the big three, which is Ford, Chrysler, and GM. Due to the entrance of foreign enterprises such as Toyota and Honda, there was a real crisis in terms of all these enterprises needed to focus on reducing cost, improving quality, and reducing order to delivery time. This would enhance the profits for the enterprises and ultimately increase market share. So really what Ford Motor Company was faced with was adopting information technologies and partnering those with supply chain management in order to redesign their supply chain and create those efficiencies within cost, quality, and delivery time. In order to do that, they thought about redesigning the supply chain. So the issue was, do they focus on vertical integration, and do they also focus on horizontal integration, involving integrating with their customers, their suppliers, and also abroad internationally with their enterprises. So really what they looked at was their supplier network. The issue with the supplier networks was that it was a broad base of suppliers, and within the suppliers, within the three-tier structure, IT capacity, capabilities, and quality control varied from tier 1 to tier 3. So how do they work with their suppliers and how do they decrease their supplier base in order to really redesign the supply chain? And also, what part of purchasing, or what role did purchasing play in this redesigning of their supply chain? So an issue here is that really their purchasing department acted as an independent department and they were highly involved in all product decisions. This is really in contrast to the Dell Corporation that is introduced in the case. One of the last general issues that we cover is the idea to go ahead and go virtually integrated. So if Ford Motor Company decided to do this, like Dell in this case, then all suppliers would really share information. They would build an extranet that would assist in coordinating that material flow and information, and they would move from a push system to a pull system. Now we can look at main stakeholders. So in the external environment, we see suppliers, customers, and competitors, and then internally we see employees, service providers, suppliers, and of course our shareholders. So now to point C, I will hand it off to my group partner to discuss this. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Dhruva and I'm going to cover two of the three topics of this case. The first is theory and concepts. So for the concepts, a new business model for Ford should be customer-centric, should use a pull-based system, and have speed to market responsiveness to their customers. The capabilities, Ford is second largest corporation in the world. They have revenues more than $144 billion every year, and they employ 370,000 workers, and also they have operations in more than 200 countries. Ford also initiated Ford 2000 and food retail networks to improve their supply chain and maintain stability in their operations, and so that they can be more, they can satisfy their customers and better compete with the foreign manufacturers. The value is improved quality, reduced cost, which could be helpful, so that more customers would like to buy if the cost is less compared to their competitors. Increase shareholder values, maintain a hold on the foreign markets. Now, next is symptoms and problems. So the first is symptoms is that U.S. markets for the car industry are being taken over from Ford by domestic and foreign car manufacturers. The problem is that foreign automobile manufacturers are expanding and improving their quality and price, and they are leading their way in the automobile industries. So, Ford 2000 initiative called for merging the global market share into one single global organization. The second symptom is it takes about 65 days for a customer to receive a finished product. In this case, it's a Ford's car, and that's too long for a car manufacturing company to make their customers wait for about 2 months to deliver a car. So the problem was delays throughout Ford supply chain. The supply chain was weak and had a lot of need to improve. And order to delivery project was very helpful, which reduces delivery time to 15 days. And the third symptom is complexity with supply chain. Again, Ford has problems with the supply chain. It's not very efficient in the eyes of the customers because customer service is really very important for a company so that they can lead the market. And for the problem was most of the Ford suppliers were chosen on the basis of the cost that they were charging them. So if the supplier was supplying cheaper materials, Ford chose them instead of an efficient and little more expensive suppliers. So reduce suppliers because Ford had a lot of suppliers. Ford has a lot of suppliers who supply them parts and the accessories that the car needs. And by reducing the number of suppliers and to shift towards a long-term partnership with tier one suppliers, it would help Ford a lot um, in maintaining the stability, improving the customer satisfaction, and take over the market share from the competitors again. So that was symptoms and problems.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Kurt, and I'm going to be discussing with you the different alternatives that Ford has in place that address the potential of improving their supply chain and thus improving stakeholder value in the company. One alternative is to do absolutely nothing. This means that they're going to stand pat and stick with the Ford 2000 initiatives as they've been conceived. The definite pro of this is that no extra money is required to implement these changes, and the Ford 2000 initiatives have already proven to be profitable. The definite con is there is an opportunity cost uh, associated to not pursuing this virtual integration strategy. That's because they'd be foregoing any potential benefits by not taking that course of action. Which leads us to the other alternative, which is to actually adopt the virtual integration strategy that we've seen be used by other companies such as Dell. The con is Dell and Ford necessarily the same type of company in which we can expect the same type of results due to them being in different industries? But that being said, the definite pro is the virtual integration strategy will improve the supply chain of Ford, and as such, one would expect that these improvements in the supply chain would improve stakeholder value in the company just because the general public would look at these improvements favorably. So yeah, that's about it in terms of the alternatives in place. Next, we're going to discuss what we think they should do and how they plan on implementing it. Thanks, guys.
Hello everyone, my name is Zhong Zhengwen. Today I will talk about Part F implementation plan. Alternative children adopt the virtual integration strategy as used by companies like Dell and integrate it into the Ford 2000 initiatives. Here are some actions. redesign its supply chain and other activities or risk being left behind. Aggressively use the technology to reduce working capital and exposure to inventory obsolescence. Mid-1995 launched a public internet site. In mid-1996, launched a company-wide intranet. By January of 1997, placed a business-to-business capability through Internet to Extranet. Teamed with Chrysler and General Motors to work on the automotive network exchange. Early 1990s, Ford had begun to actively try to decrease the number of suppliers the company dealt with directly. For the production system focused on moving to a pull-based system, synchronous material flow, order to delivery reduced to 15 days from originally 45 to 65 days, performed pilot studies to identify bottlenecks. On January 1st, 1998, launched the first of its Ford retail network. That's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Qizhen Shao. This is part G, review the case. In this case, the background is that the outdated supply system couldn't satisfy the needs of Ford. Therefore, Ford took several measures to improve its operation. First, Ford planned to learn the efficient supply system, or DEL, to increase the competition in global automobile market. Second, the director of supply chain system of Ford planned to use emerging information technologies. Third, Ford planned to help its suppliers through long-term relationship and incorporating technology such as GIT inventory, TQM, and SPC. Ford also utilized a new system to make its supplier accurately predict the need of the components. Ford reduced the time of order to delivery to efficiently meet a customer's need. Moreover, Ford created the FRN to enhance the competitive advantages. Thank you.
My part is current status. Ford Company adopts a true integration strategy, which allows it to meet customers' needs faster and more efficiently than traditional model. And the order-to-deliver process creates a lean, flexible, and predictable process, and enable Ford Company provide consumer with the right products in the right place at the right time. This model not only provides a better quality, higher customer satisfaction, but also lower company's costs, which is too helpful for Ford Company.